Hey there. Today I'm going to talk about anxiety and how to get rid of it. What entitles me or gives me permission to make this video? I overcame anxiety. I had my very first panic attack, I believe, when I was 16 years old. And I believe that having fear of anxiety is actually maybe even worse than the anxiety itself. So I did live a life of fear for decades, but I believe I overcame, and I'm going to share some with you. In 2012, I began a path of self love, self respect, honoring all my feelings, allowing me to feel and follow my intuition and my heart with everything I had. It was kind of scary. I grew up Catholic and then became a Baptist. So I deeply believe I was a sinner, good for nothing. So it was very hard to trust my feelings and do as I pleased because I thought I was going to go in a scene stampede, but it didn't. So it set me free, and it has changed a lot of my life. So with that said, you need to become your own best friend, baby steps, because we usually are our worst enemies. The way we talk to ourselves, the information we're putting in our subconscious and reaffirming and in our minds, we're good for nothing. It's not helping anybody. We're collecting stress. We go into a situation, we feel unworthy. We go into a situation, it creates a lot more stress. We accumulate the stress, and eventually something triggers, and we end up with another panic attack, and the cycle remains, which is the fear of the anxiety, the fear of the attack. We stop doing things so it wouldn't trigger. We start limiting ourselves. We are not enjoying life the way we're kind of surviving instead of. So I'm going to tell you what happens. So I believe that's the very, very, very first change that needs to happen. You need to become your best friend instead of your worst enemy. And I believe I'm writing my fourth book about it, and I believe that one of the ways to leave emotional pain and heal ourselves is to reparent our inner child the way it should have been. This is not to blame our parents or anybody. This is the way to make new wiring in our brain, healthy patterns instead of the destructive ones that we have. So that was step number one. And then I'm going to talk about anxiety itself. The fear, after that, we have the fear that it will come back. And then we have the fear that it will kill me once it's happening, because it does feel like a heart attack, and we can't breathe, and I sometimes feel like I want to throw up. It's just hellish. And everybody that has had a panic attack can agree with me. It's just one of the worst things ever. And then I'm going to talk about the fear of what others might think if they know the anxiety and the panic and everything I go through, because I think that there's something wrong with me and how to deal with anxiety. So first of all, like I said, to me, the fear it will come back. The fear of the anxiety itself, it might be even worse than the anxiety in it. So we are going to take, I believe there's a saying, the bull, we're going to touch him in the horns, and we're going to exactly do the opposite. Start doing the triggers. Start doing the things that give you anxiety. Baby steps. I'm not saying just go for it. And with this said, I want to talk about medication. I'm not against medication. I took it for a while while going through a bloody divorce. But if you need them, take them. And in this process that you're going to begin going against anxiety, if you need medication, do it. If the medication is going to make it easier, and you do it, because we are going to face our fears, because there's no other way around it. Or you're going to end up with a life so limited. Oh, I won't go to parties. I won't go to open spaces. I won't go to this and that because it might trigger my anxiety, which feels like I'm going to die. So my take is find vitamins that relax you a little bit, L-theanine, and there's a lot out there. Go to find out what works for you. Take them at night. So at least you're not going to be collecting a lot of stress. And if you're beginning to do the process of self-love and self-respect, same thing. The levels of the stress are going to go down amazingly. When you can say no to somebody when you want to say no, when you can say, I'm so sorry I can't go with you today, how about another day? When you start honoring that you matter, what you want matters. If you want to go, go. If you don't want to go, don't go. There's always a respectful way to take care of ourselves. We don't have to fight the world. A lot of people are not going to like you, and you're going to notice this very soon, because they can't use you anymore. But the ones that love you will stay. So, like I said, I like, I when I was still struggling, I went to my doctor and said, give me pills for anxiety. So when the actual panic attack is happening, you can take one. But there's many other things that you can do while having the panic attacks, and I will talk about it. So that's my opinion. But if you to face these fears, if you need the medications, go for it. I'm not against it, and I think nobody should be. So we are going to do the things that triggered baby steps. We're gonna go to that party. We're gonna do this in front of others. We're gonna fail in front of others. We're gonna just set it free and come on, just we're gonna do it. But I think in order for us to go towards the fear, towards the trigger, towards the activity that we think is gonna give it to us, I think it's very important to know that, first of all, anxiety is not going to kill you. I know it feels like it, but it's not going to kill you. It has never killed anyone. I think people that have probably live in panic attack, the stress levels, and it might hit your immune system, and I just don't know. I don't know anybody that has died of a panic attack or suffering anxiety for years. I suffered anxiety for decades, and I'm still here. So Google. If that's what your brain needs to find out that you're not going to die, Google. So in other words, we are going to kill the monster, the bully, the huge monster we make that anxiety is the worst thing that can happen in our lives. We're going to go against it, and we're going to say, kill me, kill me. It's way better for you to kill me than for me to live this life of fear. Anyway, so kill me. Come on, anxiety, you're welcome here. I'm not gonna fight you anymore, because the more you focus on the fear of anxiety, guess what's going to happen? It's going to raise your anxiety. It's going to bring more anxiety. So, face it. Okay, I'm going to do what I'm afraid. I'm going to drive. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to go to open spaces. I'm going to go to I'm going to go to social events. I'm going to go baby steps. Take care of yourself. I'm not saying just, jump in, but baby steps to start going and say, it might happen. It might not happen. I have no clue if it's going to happen. If I start to feel anxious, make a plan. I'm going to leave. I'm going to always take my car, not go and wait for somebody to give me a ride. Take baby steps. It's okay, but go towards it. And don't be afraid of anxiety, because anxiety, although it feels awful, there's plenty of things we can do. First of all, you can breathe. And I know that we feel that we can't breathe and the heart is going to get out. And I, in my situation, feel nauseous. The only way I can describe it is like a lion in a zoo, in a jail. Like, I don't know. It's a desperate situation. It's horrible. But there's lots of things we can do. One of it is breathe. You can breathe in. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try it. That might work. Another thing, you can start counting backwards by 3s, by 4s. Something that's kind of hard. Don't do it by 5s. From 100 to down, so your brain switches the hemisphere and starts bringing the logic, and you start breathing. And take the pill that's going to take the anxiety away in 15 minutes. Whatever works for you, but it's not going to kill you. While it's happening, you can say, oh, here you are again, trying to destroy my life. Kill me. Go ahead and kill me. Give me all you have. More anxiety. Give me all you have. I'm ready to face it. See the difference? It's going to go away. I don't know how it works. It's the paradox, but it's how it works. You're not afraid of anxiety, so the anxiety doesn't need to be here, so the anxiety leaves. But go ahead and do it. Face it and feel it, and just know that it will not kill you. Take your pills. Do whatever you think you might want to do, but go for it. Okay, how about I lived under this fear? How about what others would think if they knew the anxiety disorder that I have, the panic attacks, the whatever. That's all up to you. Are you willing to live your life for others? Is it worth it? How's the anxiety working? How's the depression? It's not worth it. You know, go ahead and talk about it. Talk about that you have, and while it's happening, say out loud, I'm having a panic attack, I'm going to have to leave. I'm having a panic attack, let me breathe. You will be surprised how many people have panic attacks and anxiety disorders that they don't tell us. So a lot of people are going to start sharing, oh my goodness, I know how hard it is, that happens to me. But like I said, the fear of other people showing, it's making it big. Just go ahead, and nothing is going to set you free more than the truth. Nothing but the truth will ever set you free. So the truth is, I suffer with anxiety attacks, and so what? Millions of people do, so not a big deal. Lots of people struggle with different things. Don't be so hard on yourself. It's not even worth it. So that was a hard one for me. I had to first started doing it in my brain. Can I picture me telling this and this person that the real me, what goes on, my fears, my struggles? What's going to happen if they don't like me? Nothing. But guess what? You're going to discover the ones that really do like you. And that's freeing. The ones that stay and loves you the way you are without any masks. That's healing. That's unconditional love. When you experience unconditional love from yourself and then from others, it's healing. So I've not had a panic attack in very many years, but I had one not long ago, and this is what's making me talk about it anymore, and I'm doing this to myself. So I am working on it myself. Okay, so in other words, I think that's it. So when the anxiety attack is happening, do whatever you need to do. But don't be afraid of it. It's not going to kill us, and it has never killed anyone. Okay, I am going to talk about what creates the anxiety attacks in the first place. So it's the chemicals, but it's our thinking, obviously. It's our belief system. I have a video on Psyche, how to change and reprogram our minds. I am going, after this one, I'm going to make one that's called Tapas Acupuncture something, TAT, and how you can also reprogram your mind. I talked about the emotion code. I do it all. Do whatever works for you, and but you do need to change your belief system. If you're gonna continue, although you're doing all these things I'm telling you, if you're gonna continue to believe you're not good enough and not worthy enough, or whatever is it that you believe, that belief system is still gonna bring what's bringing in your life. So that has to happen. You gotta reparent your inner child again. I hope you like it, and it works. I guess what's the alternative? The alternative is to not do things so we don't have a panic attack and then live in fear that the panic attack is gonna come. I don't think that's life. But have fun. Another thing that I want to say before I leave is, when you're suffering from anxiety and depression, don't you ever go and stay in bed, ever. And don't go to the fetal position on the, that your body's reaffirming that what's happening to you is real. It's not real. So you're gonna do the superhero position for 2 minutes, the victory position for 2 minutes, any position that brings you power. So your body is like, oh my goodness, let me create other chemicals. That helps too. But so don't give in. Don't give in to anxiety and depression. There's ways to fight it. Watch my other videos, and I hope you like it. And I'm always here. Talk to you later. Bye.